It's so amazing to be with you tonight and say a few words about my father and your nominee for president.
But while Tiffany was navigating this storm, another Trump family member was quietly growing into a larger-than-life figure, Barron Trump. Unlike Tiffany, Barron was born into the height of Trump's success and entered a world of unimaginable wealth from the moment he took his first breath. At just 18 years old, Barron towers at a staggering 6.9 and has already amassed a net worth that most people couldn't earn in a lifetime. Barron's early life was the very definition of luxury.
When my father decided to run as for the Republican nomination,
His first baby gift? A solid gold carriage. He spent his childhood in Trump Tower's $100 million penthouse, a space dripping in gold, crystal chandeliers, and custom furniture. Melania Trump, a former supermodel, made sure her son's wardrobe was just as extravagant. Tailored suits, designer sneakers, and one-of-a-kind pieces that made him stand out before he was even old enough to care. When Barron moved into the White House at just 11 years old, he became the first boy to live there since John F. Kennedy Jr. Despite the immense public attention, Melania fiercely protected his privacy. His education was a top priority, and he attended some of the most elite schools in the country, with tuition fees that cost more than the average American's yearly salary. But despite his privileged upbringing, Barron has remained something of an enigma. He's known for being quiet, private, and, according to some insiders, exceptionally intelligent. Unlike his older siblings, who thrive on public appearances and social media, Barron prefers a life away from the spotlight. He's been described as a silent genius by those close to the family, with a particular interest in business, strategy games, and, surprisingly, soccer. Even with his reserved nature, Barron's financial future is already set in stone. He has a massive trust fund, high-profile investments, and stakes in the Trump family empire. He's even ventured into brand endorsements, collaborating with major companies like Skechers and H&M. Despite not having his license yet, he's constantly surrounded by the family's fleet of luxury vehicles, from Rolls-Royces to private jets. Barron's personal life has also become a topic of fascination. Rumors of high school relationships have surfaced, and recently, speculation swirled about a possible connection with model Clara Jones. While he has never publicly commented on his dating life, his mere presence is enough to generate headlines. Meanwhile, Donald Trump continues to make waves with his latest controversy, this time involving Canada. During a speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Trump made a shocking claim that Canada should become the 51st state of the US, and even threatened economic penalties if they didn't comply. Unsurprisingly, Canadian leaders, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, fired back, making it clear that Canada had no intention of entertaining such an idea. The diplomatic fallout was immediate, raising serious questions about the potential consequences of Trump's remarks. The Trump family has always been a complex mix of power, privilege, and controversy, and the stories of Tiffany and Barron prove just how different each member's path has been. While Tiffany fights to find her own place beyond her father's shadow, Barron's future remains a mystery. One thing is certain: whether they like it or not, the Trump name ensures they will always be under the world's microscope. Tiffany Trump has always been the most low-key member of the Trump family, rarely making headlines like her more outspoken siblings, Ivanka and Don Jr. While they basked in the political and business spotlight, Tiffany lived a different kind of life. Far from the chaos, far from the Trump empire, and often under the radar in sunny Los Angeles. Raised by her mother, Marla Maples, she was shielded from the never-ending media circus surrounding her father, former President Donald Trump, but beneath her seemingly quiet existence, Tiffany was holding onto a secret, one that would later unfold in ways no one could have predicted. Unlike Ivanka, who was carefully groomed for the business world, or Don Jr., who fully embraced the role of Trump protege, Tiffany's childhood was much more about artistic expression and self-discovery. She attended elite schools, dabbled in music, and even released a pop song at one point. But no matter how hard she tried to carve her own path, her last name kept pulling her back into the limelight. Then, in the summer of 2018, her story took an unexpected turn. While vacationing in Greece, she met Michael Boulos, a young billionaire heir from a prominent Lebanese family with deep business ties in Nigeria and the Middle East. Their meeting wasn't just a random run-in, it happened at a bar owned by Lindsay Lohan, making it feel like something straight out of a Hollywood movie. Michael's life was vastly different from Tiffany's. While she had grown up in the relentless media storm surrounding the Trump family, Michael was raised in a more traditional, private setting. His family had quietly built a multi-billion-dollar business empire spanning industries from motorcycles to international trade. As soon as the media caught wind of their romance, headlines erupted. The idea of the quiet Trump daughter dating a wealthy international heir seemed like either a fairy tale or just another fleeting summer romance. But as time passed, it became clear that this was no casual fling. Despite their love story making headlines, Tiffany's relationship with Michael also highlighted something deeper: her position as an outsider in her own family. Donald. Trump had always made it clear that his golden child was Ivanka, and his favoritism created an unspoken distance between Tiffany and the rest of the family. When Tiffany and Michael finally tied the knot in 2022, they didn't hold back. Their wedding at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's famous Florida estate, was nothing short of extravagant. A towering 8-tier cake, A-list guests, and a breathtaking Elie Saab gown all made it clear that this wasn't just another high-profile wedding. It was a statement. But just days before the big event, disaster almost struck. Hurricane Nicole swept through Florida, causing panic and nearly derailing the entire ceremony. Staff had to evacuate, travel plans were in chaos, and reports even surfaced that Tiffany had a full-on meltdown. Luckily, the storm passed with minimal damage, and the wedding proceeded as planned. But even as Tiffany said her vows, speculation ran wild. Were she and Michael already facing challenges behind the scenes? The cultural differences between their families, while fascinating to outsiders, also presented a real challenge. The Trump family thrived on media attention, bold business moves, and controversy. Meanwhile, the Boulos family maintained a more reserved, traditional approach to power and influence. With constant pressure from both sides, Tiffany found herself balancing two very different worlds. Adding to the speculation was Michael's father, Mossad Boulos. A powerful businessman, Mossad's rumored political connections raised eyebrows when he was spotted at Trump events. Some even suspected he was leveraging his ties to Trump for personal gain, an ironic twist, given Donald Trump's past controversial comments about Africa and the Middle East. Suddenly, Tiffany and Michael's relationship wasn't just about love. It was wrapped in layers of political intrigue, cultural clashes, and family power struggles.